Hey friends, it's me Priya Pai. So today we are going to study about rheumatoid heart disease. In this topic, we will cover first is intro, then the pathogenesis, and then we will cover morphology, its lab diagnosis, how to diagnose it, and its diagnosis criteria, followed by the drugs. So now let's start with the introduction. Okay, so rheumatoid heart disease. Basically, it's a multi-system immune-mediated, non-suppurative acute inflammation, which occurs within the 2 to 4 weeks after pharyngitis by Group A Streptococcus beta hemolysis. It's caused by Group A Streptococcus beta hemolysis, and when it progresses to heart, then it's called rheumatoid heart disease. Okay, so let's come to its pathogenesis. It's basically caused by its pathogenesis. First thing I will say you that it's very simple. Okay, so first there is pharyngitis by a Group A beta hemolytic streptococcus, and when there is a pharyngitis, then the M1 protein of the streptococcus is released in the circulation. Then the M1 protein of the streptococcus is released in the circulation, and then the symptoms will be of pharyngitis 97% in people. Okay, and but in 0.3 to 3% people, after 3 to 5 days there will be development of antibodies. After 3 to 5 weeks there will be development of antibodies against the M1 protein by host. Host will develop the antibodies for M1 protein, okay, which is released by the streptococcus. Okay, so then there will be a molecule similarity between the M1 protein and the human cell membrane. When the antibodies will be produced, then there will be the molecular similarity between the M1 protein and between the human cell membrane. Okay, so the antibodies which are directed for M1 protein, it will cross react with the glycoprotein antigen, and glycoprotein it will cross react. Okay, it will cross react with the glycogen antibody of your joint, skin, heart, brain. Then there will be fever, and that is called rheumatoid fever. Okay, so when there will be a second attack of the same Group A beta hemolytic streptococcus, then the same bacteria, then there will be reactivation of the immune system. On second action or second attack, the bacteria will reactivate your immune system, and the cross reaction will take place. And when the cross reaction will take place, there will be continuous damage of your heart. The heart will damage, and it will result in permanent damage of the walls of your heart and the myocardium. And when there will be the damage, then it's called rheumatoid heart. Now let's move to the morphology. Okay, so morphology is that all the layers of your heart are manifested. Okay, and when it comes to all the layers, then it is called pericarditis. Okay, all the layers of the heart will be manifested. Okay, so on the pericardium, grossly we will see the fibrous and the serofibrous exudate and bread butter appearance, and this will be the gross. And on morphology we will see the fibrin on the surface, and there will be infiltration of lymphocytes and the plasma cells. Okay, this is of pericardium. When it's come to myocardium, then left ventricle will become gross. Okay, it is gross. Your left ventricle will become soft and little bit flabby. Okay, and there will be foci of necrosis. Okay, and Asov body. What is Asov body? When the foci of lymphocytes and the primary T cells they are together, then it's basically called Asov bodies. Okay, and also macrophages are there. Asov bodies or anti-Asov cells. Okay, then when it's come to endocarditis, grossly the mitral valve will be involved. Okay, grossly mitral valve will be involved, and there will be thickness of the tendinous cords. The cords will become the tendon. Okay, it will become tendinous, and it is gross when it comes to morphology. In endocarditis, there will be the edema, inflammation, and necrosis. Which necrosis? Fibrinoid necrosis. Okay, and there will be also acute inflammation followed by neovascularization. Okay guys, so next it is followed by diagnosis criteria. There are some criteria which are kept to diagnose whether it is pharyngitis or whether it is rheumatoid heart disease. Okay, so first the history of pharyngitis is taken. History of pharyngitis is taken between 5 to 6 weeks. Okay, then we have kept some criteria. Let's talk about that. So our criteria which we have kept is Jones criteria. Okay, for Jones criteria we have to take the infection group A streptococcus infection plus 2 or 1 major criteria, or we can take 2 minor criteria. Okay, now guys, what's the major criteria and what's the minor criteria? Okay, so let's come about the major criteria. Okay, major criteria include Jones. We have learned this Jones criteria, so it's a mnemonics. Okay, so J is John. Major criteria is, we will see first joint, polyarthritis. There will be pain in your joints. Then comes heart. All the layers of the heart is affected, pancreatitis. And then you will see the formation of, like this, you will see the formation of nodules. Okay, so subcutaneous nodules. And then will be the E for E, it's erythema marginatum. Erythema marginatum, what's it? It will be the redness of the skin. Skin will become red. Okay, and there will be the rinse on your limbs. Okay, and from S it's syndenium scovia. Syndenium scovia, it is a neurological disorder. Okay, so we have to take 1 or 2 major criteria plus 2 minor criteria. What is minor criteria? It's short criteria, mnemonics from I to A. Okay, from I it's infected cells will be present. For T, higher temperature will be high. Your ESR and your CRP will be increased. And for R's, that your PR interval will be raised or it will be prolonged. Okay, so it's basically, it is a bradycardia. It will delay your AV conduction. It's a bradycardia. Your PR interval will be increased. Okay, and for E, it's term itself, that is the previous history of rheumatoid. Okay, or for A, it is arthralgia. Arthralgia is a joint pain. Okay, arthralgia is a joint pain. So now let's come to the lab diagnosis. Okay, for lab diagnosis, ASO is done, anti-streptolysin O test. Anti-streptolysin O test is there, and if there is a clumping, then okay, so just ASO test is done. Okay, ASO test is done, and if there is a clumping, then it means it's positive for rheumatoid heart disease. And if there is no clumping, it's negative for the rheumatoid heart disease. And your CRP will be increased as we have seen here, and we have to also see the Jones criteria which we have learned now. So let's follow it with the drugs. It's basically the drugs which we have to give in this is first for you, it's a immune base. So for your autoimmune we have to give methotrexate. Okay, and we have to give some NSAID or DMARDs, that is anti-inflammatory drugs, that we can give aspirin or ibuprofen. Okay, and to inhibit the pyridine and the dihydrotate synthesis, we can also give leflunomide. Okay, but basically we will prefer the anti-inflammatory drugs, that is NSAIDs and DMARDs, that is aspirin and ibuprofen. And lastly we can go with the methotrexate. It's also important for your autoimmune. Okay guys, with this I want to conclude my video. I hope you have understood me. Thanks a lot.